So delightful to be here, and I very much appreciate Jeff's setup, because boy, can I empathize with Jeff, right? He was running Kodak, and I do nothing but run brands that have problems, right? This is how I've defined my career. I went from Holiday Inn Express, Embassy Suites, all the way up here to Kmart. But I did that because I believe that these great brands define what America's all about. And I think as go these great brands, as go America. So I'm doing my part to protect America by running the Kmart brand. And I'll tell you, I have a lot of fun doing it, right? Now, I completely agree with what Jeff's saying. Passion is not a substitute for planning. Now, you'll see I'm a very passionate guy because I wear this button every day. It says, I heart K. That means I love Kmart, right? And I do love Kmart, and I'm very passionate about that. You'll see as we go throughout the presentation here, I'm very passionate about that. But I also know how to produce results. That's where the planning comes in, right? So I just want to point out to you, because I know a lot of you are going, wow, he works for Kmart. What about Target? What about Walmart? Well, what about them? I just want to point out to you that I started Chief Marketing Officer for Kmart in Q3 of 2008. Now take a good look at that line, the yellow line. That's when I started, right? Pretty miraculous, wouldn't you say? Well, wouldn't you say? Check it out. I mean, come on. Because this is the crap I get all the time, right? Everybody talks about Target and everybody talks about Walmart. That's great, but I'm telling you what, we've found the sweet spot for Kmart again, and we've got our mojo back. Now, I'm sitting at my desk. It's January 11th. There's about 2 feet of snow outside, you know, in Hoffman Estates, Illinois, Chicago, where I'm from. And Nancy Galani calls me and says, you know, we'd like for you to come and join our brand summit. And I said, well, that's okay. That's good. When is it? And she says, well, it's in June. And I said, all right. And she said, it's in Miami. And I'm thinking to myself as I look out the window, 2 feet of snow, gee, that might be nice. That might be nice to be in Miami in June, and actually it has been nice. We've been here since Friday. I think this resort is fabulous. I can say that because I've been in the hotel business for a long time. I know what makes a great hotel, and I think this hotel's done a remarkable job. And for me, the real top spin is the customer service that you get here. I've never, you know, it's wonderful to have so many employees looking after you the way that you do. But the real reason I wanted to do this is because the theme of the brand summit, which is bring your brand manager over to digital, is an incredibly compelling subject matter, right? Because I'm here to tell you this is the toughest thing we're ever going to do in our careers. Everybody's sitting in this building, right? Because this isn't about transition, right? This isn't moving from traditional marketing over to digital marketing. This is about transformation, about the way we think about facing the consumer in the marketplace, right? And so think about being me, right? I work for Sears Holdings Corporation. We're a $44 billion company, a Fortune 100 retailer, right? There's 6,000 people that sit in the building at Hoffman Estates, our corporate offices, right? So imagine having to take 2 retailers named Sears and Kmart, 2 of the most well-known retail brand names in the world, and shift the mindset with a big group of merchants that are out there buying stuff for the stores and people that are working in the store and store experience, that kind of stuff, and shift the mindset and begin to migrate them towards creating meaningful, personalized digital relationships with customers as opposed to just selling stuff, right? As opposed to just selling stuff. And that's the first point I want to make about this is this isn't just about selling more stuff, and this just isn't about playing around with neat digital technology. This is about creating an information strategy for the future. An information strategy about your customers that will help you be more well-informed about what they like, what they need, when they need it, and how to give it to them. So that's really what I want to focus on as we go through the presentation today. I always like to start with the facts. And I also like to start with a couple of questions so we can get some interaction going on that. But I want to show you what we've done at Sears Holdings Corporation to get this mammoth project underway. Because it's not just about thinking about the individual channels. It's not about the digital channel. It's not about the traditional channel, right? It's about creating a platform that allows all of this stuff to coexist. And that's what I really want to take you through today. So first and foremost, we need to look at trends in media consumption. Now, I know a lot of you out there are digital marketers. I know that you're selling digital space. Whatever it is that you're doing here, it's really important that we always stay grounded in the facts. And this is your first clue to bringing your brand manager over, because your brand manager, I guarantee you, doesn't know the facts. All they know is that this is some big headless monster that's wandering around out there in space that they've got to figure out a way to get their arms around. So we know this, right? Mass media is declining and internet ads are growing. Mass media is declining and internet ads are growing. So look at internet. Look at the time spent versus ad spending on the different media, right? So what does that say? We continue to spend a lot of money on traditional media. Well, here's the first thing I'm going to tell you. Traditional media is not going away anytime soon. And any big business, Sears Holdings included, is not going to turn off traditional media tomorrow. You can't do that. Why? Because old habits die hard. Old habits die hard. Now, my merchants will tell me, but Mark, I get the highest return on investment when you have Kmart on TV, and I get a high return on investment from my print circular. That's great, and we're going to continue to ride those as long as we can, but in the meantime, we're going to start to lay some social media and some digital activation under that so you begin to wean yourself off of it. So it's not just old habits die hard from us, it's old habits die hard from customers, right? Customers aren't ready for TV to go away. Customers aren't ready for the print circular to go away. My opportunity is to figure out how to keep the customers that are still engaged in that happy and engaged in Kmart and Sears Holdings, while also attracting a new customer that's out there playing primarily in the digital space. Email frequency has more than doubled in 3 years with every marketer saturating their list. Why has email more than doubled in 3 years, right? Well, I can tell you from the Sears Holdings perspective, because all my merchants think it's cheap. They think it's easy. They think it can be turned around in 24 hours, right? Email, incredibly important piece of your information strategy, because this is where you're actually learning about the customer. This is where you're actually trying to figure out how it is to best manage their mailbox and give them offers when they want them and how they want them, as opposed to everybody blanketing them all at once, right? Now, businesses have been struggling with this for years, right? When I was running the Harrah's Entertainment brand, direct mail was the email factor at that point in time, right? And I remember one woman writing to me and saying that she got 15 different birthday cards on one day from 15 out of the 19 Harrah's casinos that exist across the United States. So, you know, it would have been nice for her to get one birthday card with all the offers in it at the same time, right? So we've been struggling with this for a year. Now, the other thing about email is we're learning now when you add video to email, what happens? The open rate is like 30% higher when you've got video in it, because video is such a fun, engaging way for people to think about your message, right? And we know that the online video space is really growing at a steady rate. There are more than 135 million viewers, unique viewers, or 70% of the online population who watched more than 10 billion streams in January 2009. Isn't that incredible? It's unbelievable. What are we doing when we're not watching online video? It's amazing. 188 million US consumers, or roughly 70% of the population, will view a video online once a month. Incredible statistic. 20 hours of video is uploaded to YouTube every minute, while the average US viewer spends 12 hours in a month watching online video. It's incredible. So what does this mean for marketers? What does all that mean, right? Such pretty words, but what does it all mean? What it means is you've got to figure out a way to develop a platform to begin to leverage this in a very judicious way with customers, right? It doesn't mean let's turn off everything else we're doing and jump into online video because it's so compelling. It means let's create a platform to figure out how it works. Now, those of you out there that are selling digital space and digital applications, I can tell you this. If you understand how your product can fit into my platform, you get a much better chance of doing the elevator pitch with me, much better chance. If you're coming in just to sell me something because it's digital, that's not going to be enough. I know all kinds of stuff about the digital stuff, right? If you've got a great product, you need to see how it fits my platform, how it serves my platform, right? Don't come in trashing traditional media, because there's still a role for that. Show me how it's going to fit my platform. And look at this. I mean, the line between content creators and consumers is rapidly fading, right? I talk to my folks all the time on my team about what it is that we do today, right? And it really is about content. Everything we do today is about content, right? It's about creating it, it's about aggregating it, and it's about curating it, right? Those three things: creating it, aggregating it, and curating the content across all the channels and the touch points for Kmart and for Sears Holdings Corporation.